Yeah.
Alright. So what are we going to learn today? What we are going to learn today? Nobody would be knowing that, and that's let me pull up the topics. So we will look at some of the concepts around ratios and equivalent ratios, and then we'll look at percentage and word problems. And you guys might think that this is something that you have been knowing for some time. Is that my picture? I have more hair than that. Okay, so don't do that. In the math class, make sure that you guys are fully focused here. So we'll talk about ratios and equivalent ratios conceptually, and then we will talk about percentage and percentage related word problems. The thing is, you guys might think that this is something that you already know. Do you guys know percentages?
Yeah.
But I might make it look difficult in the beginning. Let's see. So let's first talk about ratios. What do you mean by ratios? Give me the lamest definition of it.
It's like when you're comparing. Like I'm gonna take an example. Like on a map, when you compare the distance on a map from one thing to another, to realize. So let's say on a map, 2 centimeters is 1 mile. So the ratio would be 2 to 1.
Okay. 2 centimeters to 1 mile. The ratio will be much bigger. Centimeter is small. Mile is the distance between your house and my house. Yeah. Okay. So that is okay. Akshara, what would be your definition? Again, imagine or think that I'm a 5-year-old. Okay. So you have to explain me in the simplest possible way.
Ratio is like
No, don't make the sound. That gets me distracted. Turn around. Yeah.
Ratio is like when you have 2 different things and you're comparing them to each other. Like if you have 3 red apples and 3 green apples, you would say 3.
Over 2. Now, let me add one more color to it. Now, you guys would be knowing about rates also, right? You would have heard about something called rates. What's the difference between ratio and rates? Ratio and rate, Ivan? Just rate. Okay, let me give you guys some example. Everybody here. So, when I'm talking about ratio, I'm talking about ratio and I'm talking about rate. I am putting some examples here. Vivan has $10 in his pocket right now. I have $8 in my pocket right now. What is the ratio of dollar between? What is the ratio of money between you and me? Vivan is to Mr. your teacher.
Is it 2 to? Is it
10 over 8.
But can we simplify that? Don't we simplify the ratio?
Don't jump. We'll go step by step. Okay? It is 10 is to 8. Or you can also represent this as 10 by 8. So this was $10. This was $8. Okay? Now, I'm talking about, let's say, Vivan and Ashrita came to the class. Hey Manas. So Manas, we are talking about ratios, rates and percentages today, okay? So I'm talking about ratio right now. The example that I've given is, Vivan has $10, I have $8 right now. What is the ratio of money between me, Vivan and me? So Vivan and me. V is Vivan, V is Biren. 10 is to 8, or I can replace this as 10 by 8. If I say what is the ratio of money between Biren and Vivan, it will be 8 is to 10. Whoever is coming first, his value is coming first. Who is coming second? Hey Manas, can you hear me okay? See the board okay? Okay. Between Biren and Bivan, what is the ratio of money between Biren and Bivan? $8 is to $10. If I want to represent that in the form of a fraction, I will say $8 divided by $10. Now, I will do something stupid here. I have dollar here. I will do tic-tac-toe, okay? So the ratio of money between me and Vivan is 8 is to 10. I'm not talking about dollar, okay? When I'm talking about ratio of money between Vivan and Biren, 10 is to 8 or 10 by 8, I will do tic-tac-toe of dollar and dollar. So I have 10 by 8, okay? That is the ratio. Now, Manas takes 10 minutes for reaching class. If his parents drive the car at 40 miles per hour. Now this is rate. Look at this. You are measuring miles, which is a unit of distance, against time. Units are different.
I understand. Basically, let's say $2 per 4 apples or something.
$2 per pound.
Yeah.
Okay? $5 per gallon. Price of the gas. So when you compare, see, beat ratio, beat rate, beat percentage, everything is a tool, a technique for comparison. Ratio doesn't care about, the ratio is actually a scenario where your units are same, money, dollar. When you are talking about rates, you are comparing one unit against some other unit. Okay? Let's say, I have stopped growing now, but let's say when I was growing, when you guys were growing, when I was your age, I was growing at, let's say, 1 inch every 3 years or every 2 years. So that was the growth rate. Now your car is running at certain speed, that is a speed, or miles per hour, miles per second, whatever it is. Okay? So when you are talking about one unit being measured against another unit, that is rate. Okay? Be it a price. You go for buying, let's say, milk in Costco. It says $3 per gallon. So that is the rate, right? So you would have used the term rate. What is the rate for this one? What is the rate for buying bananas? What is the rate for buying gas? What is the rate at which you are running? Right? So rate is always when you are comparing one unit against another unit. Ratio is a scenario when you are comparing two numbers and seeing who is more versus who is less, or what is the relationship between them. Okay? 1 versus 2 or 2 versus 1, whichever it is. Is that okay? Now, so we have looked at ratio and rate. Now talking about percentage. So I said that we are talking about ratio and rate, and then let's look at some percentage. If I am talking about ratio, rate and percentage together, let's keep them in the same place and then break our head around it. This is ratio. You saw something like 3:2, or let's say, what is the ratio of age between me and Diksha? Okay. So Diksha is how old are you, beta? 8. See, 49:8. This is the ratio of age between me and Diksha. If somebody says find out the ratio of age between Diksha and Biren, that will be 8:49. So when you compare Diksha against my age or my age against Diksha's age, this is how you represent it. This is the representation part. Now when you are talking about rate, you are talking about comparing one unit. $3 per pound, $6 per gallon, 50 miles per hour, 3 inches per year. What you are seeing is there are different units. You are measuring one unit against the other one. Yeah, that is rate. Now percentage. This is an interesting part. Manas, so far clear? What is percentage? Who will explain me percentage?
Like,
I'm a 5-year-old.
example?
I'm 5-year-old, okay.
Is it like an example? Like,
Yeah, I mean, just explain me. You're trying to teach me percentage. You're trying to get me started with percentage.
percentages are like parts of a number.
Okay.
But it's like a fraction.
Okay. A 5-year-old will have difficulty following you, but it's okay. Let's see how us. Okay, Manas, give me your speech to a 5-year-old to make him understand what is percentage. But you are trying to teach me, okay? I'm a 5-year-old. You are trying to explain me how do I get started with percentage. You can unmute yourself and talk with it. It's okay.
So, percentage is when I think about it, I think about like, something used in math to like, to understand what it is,
Okay.
yeah.
So, let me give you guys, so far no enemies in the class, right? No mosquitoes? Okay. Now let me give you guys a rundown of what is percentage. A percentage is other means of comparison. Okay? Yeah? So if you look at ratio, rate and percentage, right? Ratio when you are comparing two numbers and finding the relationship between them. Rate is where you are comparing one thing against another unit. Percentage, let's break it down into English. Percentage or percent.
Percent.
This cent stands for,
What?
it's a form of, it's a shorter version of century.
Oh.
What a century means? 100. Now per, this is not 10, this is per 100. Per cent means per 100. Okay. So if I say 10%, how I can write this? 10 per 100. Guys here, everybody here, Ashita, you are. Percent is per century or per 100. If I say 10%, I'm talking about 10 per 100. 10%. Now, look at it. If I say, what is 100% of 20? What is 100% of 20? Yeah, sure. You know where to go? Okay, just a second. So, you have to take out your shoes and switch. So, if I'm asking you how much is 100% of 20, what do you think? 100% of 20, 100%. Manas, always try to talk to me, okay? That's when I feel more comfortable. So you can unmute yourself and talk to me. Yeah, 100% of 20.
100% of 20 is 20.
Yeah, well, that you can tell me by closing your eyes, right? I mean, 100% of everything is the same number, right? But
Yeah.
imagine I don't know. 100% of 20. I'm just translating English into math. 100%. If I say $3 per pound, what is that? This is per. So if you read 100% of 20, how much it is? This one and this one you can do tic-tac-toe, 20. So now if I say how much is 50% of, let me not give you a simple example. If I say how much is 15% of 300. So you will say, okay, fine, I don't care about the formula and all. I will go by English. 15% of 300. I'm not teaching you guys any formula. I'm just writing English here. 15% off. This into is nothing but off, right? You can read it that way. So 15% of 300. Now you can do it, you can calculate it. So 15% 100 into 300. 300 I can write as 3 into 100, right? This 100 and this 100 I can do tic-tac-toe. What I'm left with? 45. Ayush, you joined 20 minutes late, beta. You have to join on time. Otherwise, you will miss a lot of things.
Yes, sir. Sorry, it was my mistake.
No problem, ma'am. So, but no. See, my only recommendation is kids should join on time so that I don't feel not being able to catch up, right? I mean,
I'll set up the alarm.
yes, please. Yeah. Okay? Yeah. All right. So every Tuesday and Thursday, 7:15 p.m. without fail on time. Even if sky falls, I want to see the kids in the class. Okay?
Yes.
Wonderful. Yes, Manas, you are saying something.
15% of 300 is 150.
No. I did not say 50%. I said 15%.
15?
That's what I've written here.
Oh!
So Ayush, for you, we are doing ratio, rates, and percentage. So ratio we just touched upon. I'll come back to that again. We'll do 1 or 2 problems. I'll pick up the problem that you had sent me, okay? And I will show you guys how to do it, and then rest of the problems I would want you to solve by yourself, okay? And if you get stuck anywhere with the approach, we'll figure it out, okay? But right now, I'm talking about percentage. So percentage, let me repeat one last time. When you say percentage, it is not math, it is English. If you say, I am going at 30 miles per hour, how do you write it? 30 miles per hour. So this slash, that backslash you see is nothing but per. Okay? Now, if I say percentage, percent, per and then cent. Cent is a short form of century, or which is 100. Now if I am saying 20% of something, let's say I have $400 with me, okay? And how many kids are here? I have Ashrita, I have Vivan, I have Diksha, I have Manas and Ayush. I'm saying that whatever money I have, I want to distribute it equally to everybody. So I will give 20% to each one of the students. So I have $800. I will give 20% to everybody. So 20% of 800. Now you calculate and figure out how much everybody is getting. 20% of 800. Whatever I said in English, I have just written it down. Okay? Like 30 miles per hour. This slash was per, so this slash is per. 20%. So now how much everybody is getting? How much? How much did you get? So, see, now you guys will be surprised to see how a 49-year-old man gets his hand dirty, right? When I'm doing math, I'm doing as much math as possible. And that is how
I love it. I want you guys also to fall in love with this subject by doing it or overdoing it at times.
okay. So 20% of 800.
20.
I think I got it. Is it 120?
Let me calculate it. Try doing review also. 20%. So 20 by 100 into 800. So 20. Let me break it down. 800 I can write as 8 into 100, correct? Is that okay? Now I'm doing tic-tac-toe, ready to play. This 100 and this 100 I can do tic-tac-toe. What I'm left with? 20 into 8, 160.
Yeah.
How does it work?
Okay.
I didn't do
You
Never mind. I
you found out?
Not yet. I understood that.
Okay. I want you guys to do some quick calculation.
So that I can figure out if I was able to explain to you guys well or I got you guys more confused. Let me put some problems here.
Let me give you guys some story. Okay. I made $5,000 as salary this month. 30% of my salary, not 30%. Let's say 50% of my salary went for paying EMI.
I made $5,000 this month. I'm just making it up, okay? It has nothing to do with my salary, it has nothing to do with the EMI I pay.
I made $5,000 this month.
50% of that for EMI for the house. 10% of my salary I paid for utility bills. Remaining 40%, let's say 20% I paid for grocery and dining out. Remaining 20% I saved for medical or unforeseen expenses.
How much money did I save, or how much money I am saving every month for medical and unforeseen expenses? Nothing. I get $5,000 per month as salary. 50% of that I am using for paying EMI. 10% of that I am using for utility bill payment. 20% I am using for grocery and dining out. Remaining 20% I am saving for unforeseen expenses or medical. So 50 plus 10, 60 plus 20, 80 plus 20, 100. Total 100% is planned. Okay?
I think I got it.
Okay? Can you guys tell me how much money I am saving every month for unforeseen expenses? Are you trying?
Yeah.
And my recommendation or request to every child here is, if I teach something and ask you guys to solve the problem, solve it and give me the explanation without being afraid of being wrong. Okay. Manas, can you hear me okay now?
Yes.
Okay. The question is, I get $5,000 per month as salary. Okay? 50% of that salary I use for paying EMI of my house. 10% of my salary I use for paying utility bills, like internet, for gas, electricity, whatnot. Let me complete. 20% of my salary I use for buying groceries and dining out. Remaining 20% I save it for unforeseen expenses or for medical. My question here is, how much money I am saving every month for unforeseen expenses or for my medical bills. Got it, Manes? Got the question, Manes?
I get it.
Okay, now yeah, everyone, go ahead.
I think it's,
How much?
I got 450.
How much?
450.
450. How about
I
you?
got 1,000.
You got 1000. Okay. Okay. So, in this class, all of us, except me, has the luxury of making mistakes. So don't even bother about making mistakes. Just say it whatever you got. Only thing I would recommend is when you do it, let's say others are doing it right now. Ashita has finished, Ivan has finished, everybody else is doing it. When you guys have given me the answer, just verify it, just review it. Did you do it right? Yeah. How much? 2,198. How about you, Ayush?
About
250. Okay. Let me see what Ashita did. So, can you tell me the story here?
So I took the loan and I multiplied this, so it'd be should have had 5,000, so it'd be 5 times 10 times 100.
Uh-huh.
And then I took off 100 and 100 on both sides.
Uh-huh.
And then I did 5 times 10 times 20 and I got 1,000.
Yeah. No, so here, so this is a story that 20% of the salary I am saving for unforeseen expenses. So what you are trying to find out is how much is 20% of 5,000. That's what the question says. Correct? So this is what you did. So guys, here, pay attention to what I am talking right now. I am repeating the question one last time. This is my salary. 50% of my salary I use for paying EMI at the house. 10% I am paying for utility bills. 20% of my salary I am using for grocery and dining out. And remaining 20% I am saving for unforeseen expenses or medical. Right? This is my saving. The question was, how much money I am saving every month for unforeseen expenses or for medical. So the simple question is, okay, this is what I am saving. This is what the question says. 20% is what I am saving. Whatever this 20% translates into is my saving for medical or unforeseen expenses. 20% of my salary. My salary is 5,000. So 20% of 5,000. I have not asked you guys to memorize any formula. I am just telling you guys English. 20% of 5,000. Now you know what to calculate. Yep.
Oh, I think I very different answers.
1,000?
Huh?
Is it 1,000?
I got much less this time. I need some.
Okay, so now see, whatever I am doing, I want you guys to pay attention to it and see why there is a difference between what you got versus what I am getting. 20% of 5,000 is what we have to find out, and that is the money that I am saving for my medical or unforeseen expenses.
Okay.
20% of 5,000. There is no other calculation needed.
Okay, wait, I got this.
So 20% of 5,000. Now it's time to play. We are not doing math yet. 5,000. Can I write 5,000 as 5,000 nothing but 50 hundreds, right? So 50 into 100. Always look at simplifying your calculation, okay? And then you have 100 here. This 100 and this 100 you can do tic-tac-toe. What you are left with? 20 into 50. 20 into 50 is 50 into 10 is 500 into 2 will be 1,000. Whichever way you want to do it. Or I will teach you guys a dirty technique. If you have to multiply these two, you will multiply the number. 2 times 5 is 10. How many zeros? 1 0 here, 1 0 here. Add some more zeros. Done.
I got it.
Yeah? Ayush, did you see what I did?
Yeah.
Does it make sense? Does it make sense?
Yeah.
Manas does? Now if I ask you, how much money I'm paying every month for my EMI? Would it be difficult to calculate? Can you guys tell me how much EMI I'm paying every month?
$2,500.
Okay. How did you do it?
Because 50% is basically one half, and a half of 5,000 is 2,500.
Yeah, Manas, you were saying something. Complete your chain of thought. How much it is? 2,198? How? See, this is simple, straight. I am paying 50% of my salary for this. 50%. There is no math. 50%. Cent is century, that is 100. 50% of my salary. Calculate this. Now look at this. 50 into 5,000 by 100. Yeah, this 100 I can write as 2 times 50, right? Will that be okay?
No.
So now this 50 and this 50 I can do tic-tac-toe. So I'm talking about half of 5,000. How much is that? Half of 5,000 is 2,500, right? That's what will get you. Does it make sense? Okay now? Everybody okay?
Yeah, now it makes sense.
Now, we are approaching Thanksgiving. Within a month, there will be a lot of deals coming over for Thanksgiving. Okay? Now let me get you guys some tricks that you will use for making all the purchases that you would need during Thanksgiving. Okay? Let's say Ashrita wants to buy Nike shoe. You want to buy a Nike shoe. Or let's say everybody wants to buy Nike shoe, okay? So Ashrita, Vivan, Manas, Ayush and Diksha. Everybody wants to buy Nike shoe, okay? There are two places from where you can buy Nike shoe. Either from Rack Room Shoes store or from the Nike showroom itself. Yeah? Is that okay? You have two options. Rack Room Shoes. This is one store in Allen Mount outlet or wherever you are living. And there are others, Nike showroom itself. Nike factory outlet, whatever. Now, you want to buy a pair of Nike shoes and you have already decided on the style that you want. You found both the same shoe available in both the places, okay? Rack Room Shoe says for that shoe is priced at $80 and they are giving 20% discount during Thanksgiving, okay? Nike showroom says it is priced at $95. It is, sticker price is this much and it's giving 15% discount. That's it. Which is a better deal? How do you know that?
I mean, because 20, I should do.
Okay, now let me make it really complicated.
Solve it.
Now tell me.
Okay.
So here's the thing. Rack Room Shoe is giving you 20% discount.
A better deal.
I have all the reasons to make you guys do calculation. So Rack Room Shoe says $90 is the sticker price and I'll give you 15% as a Thanksgiving discount. Nike store says the sticker price is $95 but I'll give you 20% discount. Which place to buy the shoe? Which is giving you a better price?
I think the
No, but thinking would not help. You have to calculate.
Can't calculate.
Everybody has to calculate. This is a discount that you are getting 15% and this you are getting 20%. Ayush, did you get the question?
Yes.
Jump onto it. Applying RAM. Read, think, and then Nike. Anyway, you are planning to buy Nike shoe. So Nike comes in the last step. Just do it. So you will read the question that you see on the board, think about it, and then apply the Nike technique.
Just do it.
Just do it. I'm giving you guys 2 minutes for. Did you get hurt? No, so that's why these are lightweight things. So make sure that you're not moving much.
You should move it over to me. Are you sure no forward?
Now, just make sure that do it carefully. And since you're alone, yeah, is everybody trying?
Yeah.
What's cooking up? Okay, I'll give you guys some peace of mind. Next 2-3 minutes, I'll not bother you guys.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that everybody heard the question. So, if somebody did not, let me know. Yes, Ayush. Tell me. You're saying something or you're working on it?
I'm working on it.
Okay. I am going to stay muted for next 2 minutes till some hospital if I see one.
Okay.
No, Manas. See, you and I as customer, we have see what. I don't care about percentage because percentage could be a little misleading. Okay. Ultimately, what matters is how much I'm paying here. Let's say I'm just making it up. Okay. I'm not doing any calculation right now. I'll let you guys do calculation. After 15% discount. 50% discount, meaning there's some discount. How much is that discount? 50% of the price. Okay? Let's say that 15% of the price is $10. So here I am buying it for 90 minus 10. This is what I have to pay. So I have to calculate how much is 15%, okay? Then you'll know, okay, I have to pay $80 here. Here let's say this one is 20% of this is let's say $19. So I'm paying 95 minus 90, which is probably 6, 7. So here I am paying 76, here I am paying $80. So percentage doesn't matter to you. What matters is how much money you are paying after the discount. So once you derive that number, then only you can make the judgment. You will not make the judgment based on percentage because percentage is just a relative term. Like I said, percentage, rates and ratio are relative term. That doesn't give you absolute value. What matters to you and me is what is the exact amount that we are paying. Okay? So derive that absolute amount, then only you would be able to do justice with your hard-earned money. Okay, I mean it's not your hard-earned money, it's your parents' hard-earned money for now.
What is that note a bunch of people wants to get their money?
Did I make sense, Ayush and Manas and everybody else in the class? Except Diksha. I don't want Diksha to worry about things that will come 2-3 years down the line.
Are you going to shoot the ground?
See, somehow they got the news that I've got a bat to kill them. I don't see anybody.
I just saw them go.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead. Just make sure that you're taking off your shoes and there is tissue paper and all. Just make sure that you are using it. Yeah, use. What's the update? Okay, so now can somebody explain me what you did? Ashita, can you explain to them? Yes, please. Yes, Manas, tell me.
Raffles, because you get $90 when you pay less from a 15% discount, but Nike on the other hand gives us a 95, makes us pay $95 from a 20% discount. So we need to pay less for Raffles,
How much?
like $90. There's a $5 difference.
No, there's no $5 discount. How much is the difference? You said difference?
Yeah, there's a difference.
How much is the difference?
Like in percentage or like how much it could cost?
No. See, okay. Yeah, I want to know how much you have to pay. Yeah.
I don't know how much I got for Rathbone shoes. I got $76.5, and then for Nike I got 92.2.
93.2. Okay. Now, so Vivan, just show her where to go. She wants to go to the restroom as well. Okay. I will give 30 seconds so that Vivan is also here. And then we'll start. Okay. So, flush everything that you have in your mind for now. Keep it as cold, as raw as possible. Here's the thing. Keep aside the math. Think about it. There is a price tag on everything that we go to buy. And just because there is a Thanksgiving deal going on, outside the store it has said up to 50% discount on everything. Meaning, if I pick up something which is priced at 100, I'll get $15 discount. So instead of 100, I'll pay 100 minus 50. I can buy it for $85.
Wow.
If this store says 20% discount, meaning if I'm buying something worth $100, I'll get a $20 discount and I'll buy it for $80. That's the deal. Okay? That's what the deal says. In the simplest possible way. But now, since you guys have grown up a little bit and you have learned how to calculate percentage using simple English, so let's look at it. It says 15% discount on everything. Meaning, if I pick up $100 thing, I'm getting $50 discount. But $90 is the price of the thing that I picked up. Okay? So what is 15% of 90? 15% of 90. This is a discount. 15% discount. So whatever I pick, 15% discount on the top of the price. So 15% of 90. This is the discount amount. Let's see how much it is. 15 into 90 by 100. Now 15 I can write as 5 into 3. 90 I can write as 9 into 10. And this 100 I can write as 10 into 10. Correct? Yeah? Let's play. 10 and 10 tic-tac-toe. Now I have 5 into 3 into 9 by 10. Again, 10 I can write as 5 into 3 into 9 by 10. 10 I can write as 5 into 2. This 5 and this 5 also I can do tic-tac-toe. What I'm left with? 3 times 9 by 2. 3 times 9 is 27. 27 over 2. That is 13.5. This is the discount I'm getting on something which is priced at $90. And that makes sense. That makes sense, right? If I was picking up something for $100, I was getting $15 discount. I'm picking something for $95, that discount will be less than $100, right? Which is 13.5 here, based on our calculations. Makes sense, right? Yeah? Ayush, Manas, everybody with me? Vivan?
Yeah.
So here I am getting $13.5 discount, meaning how much I have to pay? I have to pay $90 minus the discount that is applied on the top of this. So 90 minus 13.5, I mean you guys know how to calculate. So it is 76.5. Right? So if I am buying from Rackroom Shoe, I have to pay 76.5. So far okay? That is what I was talking about. How much is the money? Because this percentage is just a relative term. I cannot say 15% is 15 or 15% is 17. I have to calculate. Now, here I am getting 20% discount, meaning 20% of 95. That is 20 into 95. These two are second floor, this is on the first floor. Now, 20 into 95. See, if I can break this. 100 I can say 20 into 5, right? Time to play? Tic-tac-toe, done. What we have is 95 by 5. 95 by 5. 95, if you guys remember, it is 19 into 5. 19 times 5 is 95. And then I have a 5 here. One more opportunity to play. 5 and 5 tic-tac-toe. $19 the discount that I am getting here. So 20% of 95 is 19. So I am getting a $19 discount. That means how much I have to pay? I have to pay 95 minus the discounted amount, which is 76. So here you have to pay $76.50. Here you have to pay $76. If you really want to save that extra money, 50 cents, if you think that is worth it, you would go to Nike showroom. If you don't care about this 50 cents, you'll still buy it from here. But at least you have a few. I'm sorry?
You get taxes too.
So taxes, that taxes is state taxes. So that will apply here and here also. Okay, you are only calculating what is the price that the store is asking for. Yeah? Does it make sense?
Yeah.
And do you think we are learning this to get 100% exam? No. This is for buying shoes in Thanksgiving. You all will go to different malls, different stores, and you will see all those flash cards saying this for discount, that for discount. What does it mean to us as a normal human being? Does it have anything to do with your star test? Nothing. This is a skill that we are learning for making sure that we don't lose any of our hard-earned money.
50 cents.
Imagine a situation like this. If let's say if I am getting $5,000, I mean this is not my salary for sure, but if I am getting this much money every month, and I have to pay $4,900 as EMI, do you think I can feed myself and my family? No, right? Because I did not do financial planning. I bought an expensive house when my salary was so less. So that is why the math that we are learning is to make sure that we survive well. It's a life skill. You will say, okay, fine, if my salary is this much, I will buy, maybe I will rent for a little bit. Maybe I will rent for this much so that I have $3,000 still for survival, for everything else. If I want to buy a house, let me work hard, let me skill myself, let me get a better job, and then when I start getting this much, then I will buy a house where I have to pay $5,000 EMI, I still have $5,000 for everything else. So this is called financial planning, and that is what we are learning in bits and pieces. Everything that we are learning here is going to help us in that regard. Yeah? And if you learn the skill, this will help you get all the score that you want. So we are not learning to score, we are learning as a skill, and we will apply that skill to get a better score. Okay? So score will remain a byproduct of our learning. Alright? So Ayush, I am just picking up one more problem, not related to percentage, but some of the questions that I got from Mommy. I will just pick one problem and see what is the approach that we'll use for solving it. Okay? Is that okay?
and I want everybody to participate with me so that when we try solving it, I am picking up one problem, okay? A grocery store orders 4 large containers of milk for every 7 small containers. Okay, a grocery store orders 4 large containers of milk for every 7 small containers of milk.
So grocery store orders 4 large containers, okay, for every 7 small containers. So small container, large container. Okay?
So I am reading this question one more time. A grocery store orders 4 large containers of milk for every 7 small containers of milk. Which ratio could represent the number of large containers of milk to small containers of milk in an order from the grocery store? So it says, which of the below ratio represents the, let me read, which ratio could represent the number of large containers
Of milk to small container. What you have for large container? 4 large container. What you have for small container? 7 large small container. So we are talking about 4:7. What are the options we have here? 18 by 21, 14 by 8, 16 by 49. And none of these. So we are given 4 options here. 18 by 21, 18 is to 21, 14 is to 8, 16 is to 49, none.
Again, which one you guys think is the right answer? Which ratio could represent the number of large containers of milk to small containers of milk in an order from grocery store?
Okay. The grocery store orders 4 large containers of milk for every 7 small containers of milk. 4:7. This is the ratio in which it's ordering. It says which of the ratio represents large container to small container of milk. 4:7. That's what? Large container to small container. How many large containers? 4. For every 7 small containers. 4:7. And none of this is matching to this.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So, your answer is none of these. There's one more dimension to it. When you have any ratio,
There is something called equivalent ratio.
meaning if you have this ratio, you can represent this ratio as a fraction also. Whatever comes first is your numerator, whatever comes below is your denominator. And when you have a fraction like this coming from the ratio, you always have the option of multiplying and dividing by the same number, any number that you choose. If let's say if I multiply by 2, 4 2 is 8 by 14, 8 by 14, I don't say anything here. It's 14 is to 8, but that is not the answer. We are talking about large container to small container. Large container has to come first. 4 has to come first. This has to come in the denominator. So this is not an option. You don't have anything matching with 4:7 or any multiple of that. If I do 3, it becomes 4 3 are 12 over 21. You have 18 over 21. That is not working. This is also not the case. If you multiply by 4, then only you will get 16. So 4 4 is 16, 7 4 is 28. 16 by 28 would have been the right answer, but that is also not there. So you are leaning on this one.
So now when you talk about ratio, it simply is which one to which one. You put this is to that second one
and you can replace this in the fraction form also. 4 is, whichever is coming first is your numerator, whichever is coming next is your denominator.
So read the questions, all the questions that mommy had sent to me. I want you to read the questions carefully, read it once, twice, 3 times, and then you try doing it in simple, following simple English, okay? There's nothing to do with math. And then see if you are getting stuck. When you are doing it, do step by step like how I'm solving everything, okay? And then send it to me. That will give me a clue with respect to if you are, where you are facing problem, and that is what I will work on with you, okay? Alright, Ayush? For everybody else in the class, whenever we are solving any problem, if you see me jumping steps, stop me, okay? Math is to be solved like telling story. Okay? That's why I start with a story. What is percentage? When I hear that story, when you hear my story, then it stays with you. And then we apply that concept. Percentage also was like nothing but no calculation, right? It did not say that, okay, 10% of something is 10 into 10 by 100. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying 10% of any number, 75. Okay, fine. Just read that in English and apply it.
Okay.
Is that enough of a dose for today? I think so. Alright, I'll let you guys go. Enjoy the rest of the evening. Talk to you guys in the next class. I will upload the video of the class which you can watch to revise, and then I'll send the assignments also by tonight or latest by tomorrow. Alright? Have fun. Alright, bye bye.